It's Thursday, December 15th, 2022, and this is the Talk Film Society podcast. I am your host, Marcelo Pico, editor-in-chief of Talk Film Society, and here with me, once again, is my co-host, Marcus Irving. Hello, Marcus.
Hello, Marcelo. Thank you for having me on again. Happy to be here. Always happy to... I got to say it first, but like I did last time, always happy to talk awards.
Awards. That's right.
Awards. We're
here, back again. This is the second entry in our hopefully weeks long. I don't know how long you're going to keep doing these, Marcus, because I want to do them every week. I don't know how much you want to be a part of this series, but...
In for a penny, in for a pound. That's what I say, Marcelo.
You sound like a killer from a David Fincher movie. You're like John Doe from Seven. I've said that before to you. You got a real John Doe energy, Marcus.
Well, okay. As long as I'm just like the character.
Okay. Awards 2022. That's right.
It'd be more favorable to be the character of John Doe than the actor who played him.
100%. Speaking of Oscars, yeah, that guy won an Oscar. Not for John Doe, but for another movie.
Sure did.
Awards 2022. We're back to talk about the awards. In general, you know, get the Oscars, you got the Critics Circle Awards, you got the Indie Spirit Awards. You got another awards show that I don't really want to talk about. We're gonna mention it. I want to put a timer. Okay, Marcus, you know what I'm talking about. A certain awards. Yeah. We're kind of jumping into it, but it's fine. A certain awards body released their nominees this morning, and I want to put a timer on it. I want to put like a minute on the clock, and we're going to spend a minute talking about those awards. Not yet though.
This is perfect, Marcelo, because I gotta say, I didn't even look at those awards. I don't acknowledge them anymore.
We can like spend even less time. We could spend 30 seconds talking about them because like that's how much credence I want to give to those awards. But we'll talk about those later. Okay, quick spiel. Why we're doing this? It's the 10th annual Talk Film Society Awards. That's coming up in March. The nomination process for the Talk Film Society Awards will happen in a few weeks. Go to talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards for up-to-the-date information. And just this series, this podcast series, which will go on for a few weeks, and I'm going to drag Marcus along for a majority of these, or maybe all of these. I just want to get, talking, because that's in the title of the website. I want to talk about the season that was and this current award season. And I don't know, I've always, and this is something I haven't really talked to you about on this show, at least in the series. I think we may have talked about it before in other episodes, because like you joined me and also past guest Tara, for like we watched the Oscar nominations, I think twice, right? And like live podcasted them or something.
And the second time I was late by like 15 minutes because I slept in.
But I like talking awards. I don't watch sports. I don't watch wrestling anymore. And this is the only sport I really am interested in, or I'm invested in, is the sport of awards. So... yeah, and that's why I started the Talk Film Society Awards, several years ago. The 9th anniversary of creating the account, where I polled people on Twitter, asking them what the best of the year was in a lot of categories, like just copying the Oscars. Like I did that because I like awards, and I do want to hear. I care about the opinions of people, like online, who are as online as me, and I rather us have a voice and us have a say in like what the best of the year is. And I'm giving the power back to the people, right? So
yes,
us as people, Marcus and I, we're going to talk about these awards through our viewpoint, and it's going to be so unique and not like any other awards podcast or whoever slack-jawed yokels on Twitter talking about awards. It's going to be us. It's going to be good. Okay? It's going to be good, great, and we'll do this for a few weeks, and that's what we're doing. Right, Marcus?
What did we talk about last week?
The best lead actor performances of 2022.
Yeah,
that was last week.
That's what we're doing. We're going through like performances of the different genders and supportings and such not. And, the cinematographers, the directors, and all that.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're doing one of those a week. Last week we did lead actors, and this week we're doing something else.
Yeah, we're doing the best supporting actress performances of 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, next week we'll do another category, and so on and so forth. And we'll probably mix it up, and we'll do something, special in the weeks to come on these shows. But, yeah, I don't know what else to say. We can just jump into it.
Do you want to talk about the thing that we prepared for this episode, Marcelo?
What's the thing that we prepared for this episode? Oh, you mean our homework? We had homework to do.
Yeah, we had a little bit of homework to do before this. Not just getting our list together, but that's not even homework to me. That's something I do on my downtime anyway. But we did have a wee bit of homework this time, and I give a sly hint by saying "we" there.
Yeah. Wait. What do you mean sly hint? We. What does that mean?
An Irishman.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't catch that at all. Well, you as an Irishman, I mean, you have to,
Proud Irishman.
You're proud Irishman. Banshees, the Banshees of Inisherin, your favorite movie of the year, right? Only because you're an Irishman, right?
Yeah, I think legally obligated. Banshees of Inisherin, my favorite movie of the year. Everybody that was in it are top of my performances list. Trying to think of any other Irish movie that came out this year.
There's no other Irish movie.
Blank. Did Florence and the Machine, did they put out an album this year? Because I think that would have to be my favorite album.
I didn't even know she was Irish. Florence from Florence and the Machine.
Florence Henderson? I don't know. Maybe she's not.
I would love to know.
Anyway, that dropped with a thud. So what did we do? We listened to... we watched this Variety. Variety puts out these actor-on-actor things.
I was going to say, in case listeners didn't, catch last week's episode, we talked about the Variety Actors-on-Actor series, right? And I don't remember if we said we were going to watch some of these, but yeah, we watched at least one. I watched two. I don't know how many Marcus watched. But yeah, we are going to talk about these right now. So here we go. We're talking about them now. Marcus?
Our specific homework was to watch the Colin Farrell and Jamie Lee Curtis, because we talked about Colin Farrell a lot last week on our Best Actor episode, and we're going to have to talk about Jamie Lee Curtis a little bit on this episode for Best Supporting Actresses. So we thought that tied it together really nice. Our other choice was... it was Austin Butler and Janelle Monáe, but Marcelo warned me off that Janelle Monáe's episode did have a few spoilers for Glass Onion, which I have not been able to see yet because Netflix only put it out in one theater, or in 1 week in theaters that were nowhere near me. So
fuck you, Netflix.
I could not listen to that one. So that's all up to you, Marcelo. But I think we can both talk about the Colin Farrell and Jamie Lee Curtis one. What'd you think about it in general?
Well, let me just quickly say the Austin Butler Janelle Monáe one. It's cute. It's nice. And Austin Butler is the one who spoils Glass Onion. And I could see on Monet's...
I lost in talk. Is he British or something? I have no clue.
No. Well, here's the thing. Okay, I'm kind of glad we both decided to do Colin Farrell and Jamie Lee Curtis instead, because the Austin Butler Janelle Monáe conversation is very slowly paced and very quiet. We
are actors.
And Austin Butler is one of those I really liked you in the Glass Onion movie. How was it working with Ryan Johnson? I mean, do you like acting in that way? Is that
it could be just because he's fairly new to this, and if he is soft spoken, that comes off in his performance. You know what? That's just more testament to the casting director over there.
And it's not me bashing the guy, but I had more fun with the Farrell Lee Curtis conversation.
It was a very lively conversation.
Very lively.
Really fun.
And Janelle Monáe is matching his energy in this actors on actors thing. She's also very soft spoken here. Although I don't know. If she was talking with Colin Farrell, that would have been I think she would have perked up a bit. But again, I think the Austin Butler Janelle Monáe conversation, very cool. Especially hearing Austin talk about his process and the fact that he couldn't see his family for a year or something.
Wow.
Which it was due to mostly, I'm assuming, because of COVID. because Tom Hanks got COVID on the set of Elvis, and I'm sure that shook things up.
Was that on they filmed it in Australia. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Had no clue.
Yes.
I just put that together now.
There you go. But yeah, and then of course Janelle Monáe talks about and it's interesting because Butler talks about Monet's performance on stage, and they have this connection about yes, Monet's a real life performer, musician, on stage, and Butler had to do that with Elvis, and they have that the kindred spirit sort of thing there. Interesting conversation, but the more fun, lively conversation, not to say that one was bad, but yeah, this one was more lively, the Farrell Jamie Lee Curtis conversation. So let's talk about that.
Right away, I was really into it because it starts off with a very funny little bit where Colin Farrell offers Jamie Lee Curtis a thing of water, and he's like, "Hey, do you want water?" And she's like, "Well, are you thinking of myself or are you thinking about you?" And his line is so perfect. It feels like it had to be written. I know it's off the cuff. Well, thoughts about myself led me to thoughts about you. And so he presents it as if it was about her. And then she finally says, yes, she'd like some water. And he says, all right, 2 waters coming up. Or he orders somebody to get her water and for himself. It's just they're charming. They are both very, very charming people. They're both very funny. I never really listened to, I've heard Jamie Lee Curtis in interviews, obviously, but I'd never really heard Colin Farrell in the interviews all that often.
Yeah.
I didn't know what type of fella he was. I guess because of his reputation of when he was really battling his alcoholism and stuff. He had that reputation for a while, and I kind of thought he was going to be more along the lines of one of those guys, but no, he's a very fun person. Down to earth seems, and it was just a very fun conversation. Colin Farrell, he even swayed me even further with the conversation, how him and Jamie were talking about his performance in Banshees. Swayed me even further in my thoughts on Colin Farrell and on somebody who we'll be talking about this episode. I'll let you talk now. I think we have something to get into about this.
Uh-oh.
That'll lead us into our best supporting actress conversation.
Okay, yeah. So like I said before, very lively, very funny. Some insight on these performers as people, because I'm sure I knew, but I just forgot. With Farrell, for sure, that he's sober now, and you mentioned it he's had his years of battling that addiction and being the wild kid in Hollywood in his early days.
Yeah.
But now he has a kid. He's sober. He seems like alive and
turned himself around,
full of life. Yeah, great person overall, it seems. But I love the insight of him just loving they go into a whole spiel about art and the theme of Banshees of Inisherin of what to do with the rest of your life, what do you want to dedicate your life to, and Farrell goes on a big thing about art is everywhere. There's graffiti. I don't know. I like that optimism that he has. And then and then I didn't know Jamie Lee Curtis was also sober, and she gave more insight on the one story that came up that I thought was interesting in terms of not knowing or kind of not realizing how it happened is the story she tells about how she married Christopher Guest, and how being in Halloween in 1978 that pushed her towards that, being married to a person who she'd been married to since 1978 or whatever.
Didn't she say the first time she saw him, she was like, I'm going to marry that person?
Yeah, she was reading a magazine and Christopher Guest was in the magazine, and the producer, co-writer of Halloween, Deborah Hill, was next to her, and Jamie Lee Curtis goes, "Oh, I'm going to marry Christopher Guest," pointing to this guy in the magazine, who I don't think she had met yet. And Deborah Hill was like, "Oh, I know who that is. I can get you in contact with this person." And then yada yada yada. Eventually, she meets him and marries him, and lives happily ever after. So that was interesting.
Yeah, cute story.
Yeah, cute story. But in regards to and this is the thing. In regards to her talking about everything everywhere all at once, I'll say she's good in the movie. I'll say she's she's perfectly apt to handle that type of role. To me, not the most interesting character in that movie, and the one who. How do I put this nicely?
Yeah,
I'd rather hear anybody else on that set talk about that movie, and like,
yeah. I nothing against Jamie Lee Curtis at all. She seems like a very cool person in general, in life, in everything, everywhere, all at once. But I am totally with you. She's not the person from that movie I would rally behind. She's not even the best supporting actress from that movie I would rally behind.
Yeah.
Here's my reasoning for why they're pushing her. Is A, she's a bigger name in the first place. That's obvious. And B, they're trying to also push Ke Huy Quan, who's not a super big name. And so they're probably just not trying to divide their smaller names and fill their FYCs up with that. Also, I think there's this like a part that's like Jamie Lee Curtis also ended her whole deal with Halloween this year. Halloween Ends came out this year, and it was like the definitive end of Laurie Strode, I believe, as a character, or at least her playing Laurie Strode. And like, it feels like this should be a banner year for her, and she's obviously not going to get nominated for Halloween Ends. So let's push her for this, you know?
Yeah.
Which is like a really well-liked movie, and she is in it, and she has a pretty significant part, I guess. But I'm with you in general. I would not push her very hard. I although what you say, you wouldn't want to hear her talk about the movie. Well, so she did say no. Hold on.
Okay.
She did say one thing that I thought it was kind of fun. That like, okay, so she said that like every single day the crew and the cast and whatever, and the directors, the Daniels, they would lead everybody in just like a little bit of exercise to start off the day. Yeah. And they compared that. She gave that story up after Colin Farrell said that it was everybody in that was working on Banshees. They were just like living on a small island together, and like it was like kind of like what you see in the movie where they just gather at the pub or whatever. And I'd say between just like doing a little exercise with some people that seem kind of pompous to me, or living on a nice Irish pub, like Irish Island, I'd rather be there. I'd rather be on the Banshee set, I think.
Well, yeah, and let me clarify. I just want to say that like I'd rather hear from like Michelle Yeoh, like Stephanie Hsu, Kai Huy Quan, even like Jenny Slate, James Hong, and then Jamie Lee Curtis maybe. Yeah, well, it's because like again, and I guess we'll talk about it in a bit about. Well, you've already touched it, and really, I don't really need to add anything more. Really, now to think about it, like yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis, good, but the fact that she's getting pushed so hard for this.
Let's use this as a jumping off point, Marcelo. Let's get into our best supporting actress picks. I started last time. I think you should start this time because I think you're going to say Stephanie.
I don't know how to pronounce her name, by the way.
I'm going to assume Sue.
Sue. Okay, yeah. I guess that makes more sense. And my apologies to Stephanie Sue,
or who. I don't know. It's one of the two.
Apologies. Okay, fine. I'll start. I wrote down 6. Okay. Because there was one I forgot to write down. Okay, so this, by the way, is just me saying, wait, but we did this last time. Should we do that game where I went to Go Derby again, by the way, goderby.com. That has like...
Oh, yeah. Let's do this. I do... You know what? This is going to be a lot harder for me this year, or this one.
Yeah.
I think I can only really guess 3, maybe 4.
Let's play that game. I went to goderby.com, which is that website that has like experts, in quotes. I'm not even sure they're experts. Critics, people online on their message boards, like pick what they think is going to get nominated in all these Oscar categories. It's mid-December, so we'll see how accurate these are. But these are the top 6 I wrote down that Go Derby has. From like number one, the most votes for who they think is going to win, to the 6th most. So I wrote down 6. Marcus, can you guess the 6? So I'm going to give you 5 guesses. So pick.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah. So Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, you got it. Number 5. Okay.
Let me just go with Janelle Monáe since she was already mentioned.
Not in the top 6.
No?
Not in the top 6.
Okay. Carrie Condon.
You got...
For Banshees.
You got their number 1. She's number 1.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman for The Northman.
Not in the top 6.
Wow. Okay. I'm less confident now. I thought she would be a lock. Kristen Stewart for Crimes of the Future.
Not in the top 6.
Wow. Okay. You
got one more, right?
I'm pretty beaten down now. I don't think I can give you a 5th.
I think...
Because I think... Stephanie.
Yeah,
Stephanie.
yeah. I was going to say, you got the one that you mentioned before. Yeah, so she's number 6.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that Jamie Lee is number 5 and Stephanie Sue is number 6. I would switch those, personally. So, okay, here's the rest of the Gold Derby. So, number 1 was Condon. Number 2, Jessie Buckley for Women Talking, which
sure.
I need to see.
Yeah, see, there's just a lot of movies. This was one of the hardest categories for me to put together. I'll say that right now.
Number 3, Claire Foy, also for Women Talking.
Yeah. Is there somebody from She Said?
No She Saids here.
Okay.
Number 4, Hong Chu, I believe that's how you say your name, from The Whale.
Okay.
Again, a movie I have not seen. And then, as mentioned before, Jamie Lee and Stephanie Sue from Everything Everywhere. So there you go. A lot of women talking here in this category on Gold Derby.
Women be talking.
Women be talking. Women be getting nominated, hopefully. That's good. That's a good one.
I hope they nominate a few women this year.
I hope so. Okay, so that's what the Gold Derby thinks. What do we think as people? Let me go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and go first, Marcelo.
These are my
favorite
favorite supporting actress performances of the year from this past year. Okay, so I wrote down 6. Marcus, you know what? Honorable mention. I'm going to make it officially 5. Honorable mention: Kristen Stewart in Crimes of the Future. She's weird. Yeah. She does this voice thing that is it's a choice, much like Viggo Mortensen in that movie. Those actors are making choices. Like, the only one that has like a real clear normal vibe to her is like Leo Seydoux, and she's amazing in it too. Okay, but yeah, Kristen Stewart, honorable mention. Okay, now the 5. The number 5 slot, Dolly De Leon from Triangle of Sadness. Really good. A movie, though, that like I have no desire to see again anytime soon, although I really did like it a lot when I saw it at Fantastic Fest.
Palme d'Or winner.
Yeah, I won the Palme d'Or. But I just had this conversation with somebody. It's one of those movies where, like, you know what it is coming in, and you know what it is coming out. There's no real depth to it, but it's still a solid movie, and like her performance, Dolly De Leon, is really good. I'm not even gonna say what she does in the movie, but it's kind of a surprising little performance, unexpected, I should say. But she's really good. Okay, that was 5. Number 4, out of left field, Melanie Stone from the movie Deadstream, which, Marcus, I forced you to see.
You know what? Look, I know who you're talking about, and you know what? Yes, I get it. I fully get it.
Yeah. Incredible. That movie, Deadstream, it's going to be in my top 10 of the year. I love it.
On Shudder, get it while you can.
Get it while you can, because they will shut Shudder down eventually. It's going to happen. Read the news, people. AMC is cutting people out of their company.
Sucks.
Layoffs. It sucks. Anyway, Melanie Stone, really good in that movie. I'm not going to tell you what she does if you haven't seen that movie. I'll just say, like, she's great in it. It's one of those, like, whoa, it's like, who is this person? I need to look them up. I want them to be in more things. She was in that new VHS movie, which the directors of Deadstream, they directed a segment in the new VHS. Was it VHS 1999 or something? Yeah.
I think that's, or 94. It's one of those two.
Yeah, it's solid. I think it's 99 because they have like a Y2K thing at the end of that movie. Anyway, she's good in that too, but she's really great in Deadstream. So that was my number 4, right? Okay, yeah, it was 4. So number 3.
That was 4.
Number 3, Janelle Monáe, Glass Onion. Not going to spoil it, but she's really good in it.
She's the killer, right?
I'm not going to spoil it, but...
She has to be. Why would you be bringing her up? She's the killer.
You will know on December 23rd when Glass Onion hits Netflix, Marcus. And I want you to watch it that day it comes out, okay?
I will say I like Janelle Monáe's music a lot. I think her album, Electric Lady, one of my favorite albums of the last 10 years.
Oh, good. I think she's as good of an actress now having seen, like, Glass Onion. Well, I mean, she was always great, though. She was really good in the Hidden Figures. She was in something else. Anyway, but I don't know. Overall, multifaceted performer, really good. I'm not going to tell you why she's great in Glass Onion. Just watch it. And then the top 2, of course, Carrie Condon, Banshees of Inisherin. Heartbreaking performance. Like solid. Like I've seen her. I feel like I've seen her for years, like in little bit parts. And like this is another one where it's like, oh, turns out like I'm not gonna say she's my favorite thing in it, but she's close to it. Like she's like the underlying heart of that movie. Beautiful. And then number 1, Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere. I had my doubts about this, and then I rewatched Everything Everywhere last week. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. I'm confident enough to say that she's my favorite supporting performance of the year. I guess female performance. I don't know. I haven't really dug into the male performance side, but maybe the best supporting character of the year, performance-wise, is Stephanie Sue. So that's me, Marcus. What about you? Go down your list of the best of the year. A female supporting.
Of females. I'm going to start mine off
Give me
with
your top 5
somebody who
females.
only made ever. I'm going to start mine off with, how about, I'm going to do it the way you did, where I'm actually going to number it. I'm going to say number 5. I'm going to go with Maya Goth for X.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
This is mainly because I kind of want her to pull out a 1-2 punch here. We'll talk about her more in lead actress, I think. But she's also very good in X. She has a turn that was very surprising to me. I didn't expect it. She's very good. Let's say my number 4. This one feels... I think most of mine are pretty out of left field. I'm going to say Jennifer Connelly in Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, okay. That's a solid choice.
Yeah, she's really lovely in that movie. Her and Tom Cruise have such fantastic chemistry. Jennifer Connelly, somebody who, famously kind of had her career derailed for unfair reasons. It's just great to see her in many ways. This feels like a comeback year for so many actors, and hopefully it is for Jennifer Connelly as well. It's not like she's it's not the most complex role in the world or anything, but I think she does a wonderful job. That was my number 4. My number 3 will be... Shoot, I'm realizing I wrote 6 down as well. Shoot.
See, I had the same problem. I want to say
all 3 of these next people.
Okay,
all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman for The Northman, number 3.
Yes.
Nicole Kidman, endlessly talented. She's one of those Meryl Streep types. She'll get nominated every single year, and she deserves it. God damn it, I loved her in The Northman. She's so brutal. She is so primal. She's so, just in the same, almost, in the exact same way that, a perfect mirror for Alexander Skarsgård's character.
It's so weird that they played husband and wife on Big Little Lies, 5 years ago. And now...
That's Hollywood, baby.
That's Hollywood, baby, yes.
But her viciousness in this movie, it's just... It really... God, I love it. I'm going to say my number 2 is... I'm going to say Jamie Clayton for Hellraiser.
Oh, okay.
She plays female Pinhead. God, I love that design. I really, really hope they can get that into makeup. And she plays that role with such grace. She wears that makeup, and she just becomes something else. And I think, I know she's technically playing a different character. She's called, the Priestess or something.
Yeah.
But, I think she does that role better than Doug Bradley did it. I was so like entranced by her every single second she was on the screen, and I absolutely loved it. Now, I wrote down 6, and I'm going to just say 6. So my number 1 is going to actually be my number 2, and my number 0 is going to be my number 1. Okay, so my number 1 here. My number 1 here is Sherry Moon Zombie in The Munsters.
Okay, that's okay. Okay.
Look, shut up.
Right. I'm not saying anything.
I love Sherry Moon Zombie. There is only one man in the world who gets to show off her talents, and he does it all the time, every chance he gets. He is Rob Zombie is the ultimate wife guy, as me and my friend Matt like to say. She's so wonderful in The Munsters. I don't think you can deny that, Marcel. Even if it's not your favorite movie, like what the style they are going for is something so specific. They're trying to just not even evoke. They're trying to replicate like a very corny 1950s, 60s sitcom, 70s. I think they do it like it's hamming it up. It's over the top. It is just very classic sitcom acting in on the big screen. And I loved her in it. It's my favorite. It's probably not my favorite Sherry Moon Zombie, but it is certainly one of my favorites of this year. My favorite, my number 1, Carrie Condon, Banshees of Inisherin. Like you said, she is the heart of that film. Man, she sneaks up on you, I think. Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson from they steal the screen, but you think it's their story, but in a lot of ways it's her story. Her love for her brother, those two are all that they have. They only have each other. Her love for her brother, how much she stands up for him, and her internal struggle that she has to make by the end of the film. She's so just wonderful in the film. Really, really, really beautiful stuff. A heartbreaking performance and a heartwarming performance as well. So that's my list of 6. So I guess you have to say Maya Goth is my honorable mention. How about that?
There you go. Yeah, there you go. We did it, folks. We listed our favorite performances of 2022. Supporting actress.
Supporting female actresses.
Yes, supporting female actors. Okay. I hate the gender. I said this last week. I hate the gender stuff.
Next year, we're going to change this.
Yeah, next year, just like dump them all in like 10 category in 10 slots for one category. 10 categories. Make it even more complex. No, 2 categories: best lead and best supporting. And then just throw them all in there. 10 slots, fill it up, and then see who wins. The battle of the sexes. Okay. I'm just so angry right now.
I'm with you, fella.
Okay, so those were our picks for best supporting actresses. Now it's time to open up the Discord, Marcus. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's keep this train rolling, because I do want to touch on some things at the end of the episode. Okay. I saw a movie. This is a tease for later on. Okay. I saw an Oscar contender. Early.
No.
Yes. Okay.
No.
I want to dig into it a little bit. Okay, and we'll do that after we dig into the Discord. I also want to talk about some Film Critics Circle Awards that were handed out in the last few days. I have 3 written down. Okay, so we're going to do all that after the Discord segment. So here we go. Marcus, let's open up the Discord.
Let's find some of them Discordees. How about we'll start... We'll start where we ended last week.
Well, let me just say, we each time we do this now, like when we talk, let me just set the table. When we talk about our favorites, we also dig into our Discord on the Talk Film Society Discord. Go to talkfilmsociety.com/Discord to join. Only if you're cool, though. If you want to have a good conversation about movies or whatnot, jump in there. And tell us
great community.
Yeah, tell us your favorite performances of the year when I ask. Okay, and this
you can do it. You can do it whenever you want, but when we ask, that's when you really.
That's when you are on point and you come correct. Okay. But yes, I asked this question: the best, your favorite supporting actress performances I asked that to the Discord, and this is what they said. Marcus, what'd they say?
Yeah, so last week we ended with Manish Mathur, the host of It Pod to Be You here on the Talk Film Society Network. Wonderful romantic film podcasts. So last week, Manish, he gave us...
That's right.
He gave us 5... For the actors list, he gave us 5 names... but he only gave us the first names, and he even shortened at least one of those names. So we were kind of confused. We didn't know who he was talking about necessarily, and we gave him a little bit of guff about it. But this week he comes in, he came correct, like you said, Marcelo, and he gave us good direction here. Okay, so Stephanie Sue, EEAAO, Everywhere All at Once. That performance has been said by you, but I'll say for me too, I'm not the biggest fan of that movie. I actually really disliked it, but she was a bright shining star in the film, and I don't know if this is like a very like a first major film role for her. I'm unfamiliar with her work, but she did really impress me. I think it's a great, very layered performance. Like, layered's not even the right word. She's got like a really intense tone to be going up against Michelle Yeoh like that with just the most confidence in the world. That's an impressive feat.
Yeah, I will
Kidman
say.
And Northman.
Oh wait, can I just say about Stephanie Sue for a second? And we won't get into your dislike of Everything Everywhere. At least not now. Okay,
not yet.
Well, we'll save it for
different
the future.
episode. We will.
Yeah, but I'll quickly say about Sue, and I already said earlier, it's like she's my favorite performance, actress-wise, supporting of the year. My multi-layered, she's doing a lot. She has to do a lot for that performance. Whatever, she's amazing. I also like that this past week, I'm sure as a big push for her to be nominated for these awards, like her rehearsal tape was released. Not rehearsal, audition tape was released. And that got a lot of retweets on Twitter and whatever. So I liked that reminder of like, oh, by the way, in case you forgot, she's also great, and she should be acclaimed. So, anyway, that's what I'll say about her.
The part where they're rocks and they're still, like...
yeah.
Their characters perfectly, and she's finally, like... I don't know. The movie does some very cool stuff. I cannot deny.
Wait, hold on.
Wonderful in it.
One more thing. We watched that Colin Farrell, Jamie Lee Curtis, Actors on Actors variety thing. There was a tweet that said that Colin Farrell didn't know that was like just rocks, and he thought that was like animated or like Play-Doh. And Jamie Lee Curtis had to correct him. Goes, "No, honey, they were rocks." That wasn't in the video. They must have edited it out.
Saying that.
But no, I saw that tweet. The Variety tweeted it out. Anyway, I thought that was funny. I guess maybe they cut it out because they didn't want to make Colin Farrell look like an idiot. But honest mistake. They did it. They rather just tweeted it. But honest mistake, because I don't know, that moment felt like so surreal to have like this emotionally charged dialogue happen between just two inanimate objects. Anyway, let's move on.
And now that you mentioned Colin Farrell again, I totally forgot to say that the Variety thing made me so enamored by him and in love with him that I started looking up other interviews with him, and I ended up listening to like an hour and a half SAG conversation that he had, and like another Actors on Actors I'm in the middle of from like 4 years ago when he was doing the rounds for The Lobster.
Oh yeah.
And it was him and Hugh Grant. And so far, that conversation was very fun. He's still just a charming guy. Anyway, Manish also says Nicole Kidman for The Northman. I said my piece. Do you have anything to say about her?
No, I'm in agreement. She's a powerful. It's a powerful performance from her in that. Yes, let's move on.
Manish also says Keke Palmer for Nope, which this one.
Well, okay.
Is she being considered?
Here's the thing.
Supporting, because I'm going to bring her up for actress. I'm just going to flat out say that now.
I'm going to bring up Gold Derby, because that's my go-to, like, where is she going to be? I'm assuming supporting actress. Like that's where they're going to.
Okay, if she is supporting, she would have made my list. She's going to make my actor list. I'm sorry. It's just.
Let me do a quick search. Okay, Keke Palmer is supporting. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're going to switch it up here, Marcus. You're going to switch it up.
Yeah, I guess. Maya Goth, goodbye. Okay. Let me go back to my list. So Maya Goth, you're out. Jennifer Connelly, you get kicked down to honorable mention. Keke Palmer, you're going to go above Nicole Kidman and above Jamie Clayton, but you're going to stay below Sherry and Carrie Condon.
There you go. Okay. Good. I do really love Keke Palmer in Nope.
She is my favorite part of the movie.
God, flat out. She is. I'm now considering changing mine up. You know what?
Her energy, her spirit, she's just so damn fun.
If anything, she's creeping above Kristen Stewart for me. So honorable mention Keke Palmer, I'll say, in Nope. So there you go. But
what a twist! What a twist this episode has had.
I would be completely happy if she gets the nomination at the Oscars for supporting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I do.
Where did they have her on Gold Derby? What space was she at?
Surprisingly, she's at number 20, which is insane to me.
Jeez.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Janelle Monáe is at number 9 here, which is also kind of crazy for me because I think she's great. Anyway, but then like, you have like Carey Mulligan at 7, Angela Bassett at 8, the previously mentioned Dolly Leon at 10. For me, it's kind of a toss-up. Supporting actress in terms of Oscars. Anything could happen at this point. Anyway. Yeah.
So let's move on now. Hong Chow for The Menu. I have not seen this.
Yes.
Much shame to me. But one of my most looking forward to films. But go ahead and talk about Hong Chow.
Hong Chow previously mentioned, she in Gold Derby they have her number 4 for The Whale in this category. But she's also in The Menu. And she's amazing in The Menu. I do like her a lot. It's kind of hard because like I'm sure you've seen that trailer, Marcus. They've played it a million times, like at my theaters. The Menu, right? The trailer.
That's true.
What you see in her in that trailer is like what you get in the movie. It's like this kind of like obedient, like very methodical, almost robotic sort of personality, but she plays that to a T in The Menu. But overall, she's a very enjoyable performance for me. But I do like that pick.
And Manish's final pick, Nina Hoss in Tar. I have not seen Tar yet either.
I think Nina Hoss is very good in Tar. One of those. Oh God, yes, she's the wife of Tar. In Tar. God, you know what? It's such a solid supporting performance. And I should say I've seen Tar. I love Tar. Tar is like my number 3 of the year. I
didn't think of her.
I know. You know what? There's another actress in Tar. I should have done this research. There's only so much research I can do. But maybe this Tar actress will come up later. But I have more thoughts on Tar, which we'll touch on later. But yeah, Nina Hoss in particular, very good in Tar. Let's move on.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to go to Jay McMillan next. Jay McMillan says Angela Bassett, which I assume is for Black Panther.
Yes.
Haven't seen it. Hong Chow, that could be either for The Whale or for The Menu.
Who knows?
He does not give us movies here. Carrie Condon, her virtues have been spoken to. Dolly De Leon, I don't know who.
Yeah.
You said she was previously mentioned.
Triangle of Sadness.
Great. Stephanie Sue. I got Ben Miller here. Carrie Condon. Judy Davis for Nitram, who I believe he brought up.
I believe he brought up Nitram last episode, maybe.
Last episode with Caleb Landry Jones, yeah.
Yeah. We still don't know what Nitram is.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We have no clue. Dolly De Leon for Triangle of Sadness, Hong Chow for The Whale, and Samantha Morton for She Said. Marcelo, you saw She Said.
That's right. I have seen She Said. Samantha Morton is very good in She Said. But let me go back to Gold Derby. Carey Mulligan is in the Best Supporting Actress slot for She Said. I think Carey Mulligan is Carey Mulligan. It's not a flashy thing. The movie's not flashy at all, she said, but it's such a solid performance overall. But it is weird that she's in the supporting slot because I think she's a co-lead with like the other actress in that movie who I'm forgetting. Again, I don't know everything. But I'll look that up too real quick. But I don't know. I'm not opposed to any performance in She Said because that's a solid movie.
Noah Thompson here, Hong Chow for The Whale, Kiki Palmer for Nope, Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Janelle Monáe for Glass Onion, and Tong Wei for Decision to Leave, which I have yet to see. I'm going to see it here pretty soon. It's on a streaming service now, I believe. Anything to say about Decision to Leave?
I talked about it a bit last episode, Decision to Leave. Tong Wei. Now, I was a bit confused when you brought up, or when, who was it that brought it up? Tong Wei? Noah Thompson?
Noah Thompson.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to look it up. Tong Wei is, to me, the co-lead of Decision to Leave.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mistook her for somebody else, which I feel bad about. But no, she is top billed, according to Wikipedia, which is very weird. Noah Thompson... You're I don't know. You're on notice, buddy.
Well, I don't know what you're smoking, bro.
Because I initially thought she was another character, but no, she plays the femme fatale in Decision to Leave, to Park Hae-il's detective. So I want to hear Noah Thompson's rationale here of why he says she's supporting when she's actually lead actress. But yeah, but the movie's amazing, Marcus, and
good to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joey's next picks, Maya Hala Harold for Bodies, 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 which is an interesting one. Saoirse Ronan for See How They Run, a fellow countrywoman of mine from Ireland. And he also likes to mention Kristen Shaw in the Bob's Burgers movies. That's his honorable mention. Which I know Joey's really into animation. That had to be hard for him not to put anybody in there.
Yeah. Good for Joey. Good
for Joe.
Yeah, come on. Where else are you going to
All right, J. Preston Poole.
Here we go, J. Preston Poole.
Condon, Janelle Monáe, J. Preston Poole. Here we go, buddy. He says a different Bodies, Bodies, Bodies person. He says Rachel Sennett. Very interesting. We're going to talk about that in a second. Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, which he says is totally a supporting. It seems like that's another thing we'll get into later. Stephanie Sue in EEEOOO.
J. Preston Poole is on notice for putting Michelle Williams here when Michelle Williams, I believe, is running in the Best Lead Actress category. Now, I get it.
Can you speak to Bodies, Bodies, Bodies?
I did a whole podcast about Bodies, Bodies, Bodies with Manish Mathur, which was never released, which will probably be released eventually. And not his fault, it's my fault. It was part of the failed revival of the Talk Film Society podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, Marcus knows about this. Talk Film Sundays, which was canceled after one episode. Me and Matt managed to talk about Nope for one episode, and then I said, you know what, I'm done. No, I'm kidding. I recorded an episode about Bodies, 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 and I do like that movie a lot. Rachel Sennett, in particular, she's like a rising star. Like, she was in Shiva Baby, which was a favorite of mine from last year, right? She was the star of that. But she's a big social media personality. I saw Bodies, Bodies, Bodies at South by Southwest, and the premiere there was like packed to the gills. It was like the 2,000 seat theater in downtown Austin, filled up with like the young people, excited to see Rachel Sennett and the young cast in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. But she's very good. I like her a lot in that movie, and I do not begrudge anybody nominating anybody in that cast for anything, because I think they're all solid, and it's a really good movie. You haven't seen it yet, have you, Marcus?
No, I haven't. Is it on anything?
Yeah.
It's something I will watch.
I believe it hit VOD a few weeks ago. So yeah, you can you can watch that along.
I'll hit it on streaming.
Yeah.
And then he also mentioned something that I would also like to mention. One of his honorable mentions is Chloe Sevigny for Bones and All. He says she did more in a single scene in Bones and All than most actors do in their whole careers. Now that was a very interesting one to me.
I have to give him credit there. I kind of agree with him.
Yeah.
He's right that she does a lot in just one scene. I don't know, what are your thoughts before I talk anymore?
It's tough to fully bring her up. I understand why she had to be like an honorable mention. That is the scene of that movie, and it is so bizarre, heartbreaking, fucked up, everything, everywhere, all at once.
Okay.
And it is a very affecting scene, and I didn't even know that was Chloe Sevigny until he brought it up. But man, that really is a good call.
Yes, I agree.
But can you call somebody supporting if they're only in like a single scene?
Yeah,
6 minutes long.
And where we shouldn't. I guess this isn't a spoiler, but I'll just say, yeah, it's one scene, and she doesn't really talk at all. Really, I don't remember.
But she is doing.
But she does. Yeah, it's a performance. It's worth noting, but there have been weirder things to happen with nominees, like the supporting actress who won for Network was only like in 2 scenes. Like for like less than 10 minutes, and won an Oscar for it. So anything can happen. But betting the odds are against Chloe Sevigny for getting nominated for Bones and All. But
sure.
If like miraculously if she did get nominated, it wouldn't be that surprising to me because like weirder things have happened.
Okay, so we're gonna go to Tommy Marinara, friend of ours. Co-host of Double Edge Double Bill on the Talk Film Society Network. Kristen Stewart for Crimes of the Future. Yeah, I love her. I think she's great in that movie. He says Michelle Williams in The Fablemans as well.
God damn it.
Carrie Condon in Banshees of Inisherin. Stephanie Sue Everywhere All at Once. Lashana Lynch in The Woman King.
Ooh. You haven't seen this yet.
So what's your beef here with Michelle Williams? Do you want to get into this in Best Actress? Or
it's just this is going to be the running theme throughout this entire series. It's this.
Yeah.
It's the category shuffling. It's studios and PR people for your consideration, junkies. All this shuffling around of like who should be who should be in lead, who should be in supporting. As it is now, as it stands, Michelle Williams, according to all the awards bodies, at least all the major ones, she is lead actress.
Okay, so we can tell these people that they're
But I will say, as rational people, from that point of view, sure. I think I even said this last episode. I can totally see that. I think I was even confused last episode. I could see the case being made that Michelle Williams is supporting, because little Sammy Fableman. That kid is really the lead, and like the parents are the co-leads, and But anyway, whatever. It's Michelle Williams' lead actress according to the Oscars and the awards bodies. So that's where we are with Michelle Williams.
Okay. Now we got Sam Schott first, former host, friend of the website, legendary website friend, editor, all that stuff, podcast host. Can't believe it. It's Sam. He says Kiki Palmer for Nope, Stephanie Sue for Everywhere, Janelle Monáe, Glass Onion, Jenna Ortega for X. I brought up Maya Goth. He brings up Jenna Ortega.
Oh, wow.
Who, I thought that was interesting. Who would have thought 2 X's get said in this episode?
2 X's? What is this, my relationship life?
Yeah, all my exes live in Texas.
Oh.
It's so weird.
That's true.
That's where you live.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman from The Northman.
Okay.
He says he needs to watch more movies.
I want to shout out Jenny Ortega. She's having quite the year.
She's having a moment.
I've seen her in 3 movies where she gets brutally assaulted by killers. this year. X, which she was an excellent Scream queen in that. Scream, of course. Excellent performance from her. Scream, a Scream-filled performance from her.
A Scream-worthy performance.
Scream-worthy performance. And I cannot think of it. What's that Foo Fighters one?
666.
666. I'd give her a 10-10-10. No,
is that a Studio 666?
Studio 666, yeah. I'd give her a Studio 10-10-10 for that. But I think it was... if I were to give it like an award for like, hey, good job, I'd call it the Florence Pugh Award. Like, Jenny Ortega was everywhere, and like these
all at once.
Yeah, everything, whatever. Shut up, Marcus.
Yeah. Okay. So on our last one here, Jock for the win, JOK for the win, FTW. My Hala Harold for Bodies, 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 which another Bodies, 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 and the second for My Hala. Stephanie Sue Everywhere All Once. She is clearly our winner here.
Yeah.
Vicky Creeps for The Survivor. Julian Nicholson for Blonde. Very interesting. And J. Smith Cameron for Vengeance. Not much I can talk about there at all. I still have yet to see Blonde. I don't know what Vengeance is. I don't know what The Survivor is. I have not seen Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So, hey, fuck me.
Hey, you've heard me talk about Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Hey, you hear me talking about bodies.
Hey, you hear me talk about bodies, and then again about bodies, and then another time about bodies. This is the third time we bring up Bodies, 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 and I'll say we've talked about 3 different actresses, right? I'm assuming?
I hope that these nomination Bodies, Bodies, Bodies notice her.
The whole cast is fun. Moving on. Right. I have not seen The Survivor. I have not seen Blonde. Surprisingly enough, I have not seen Blonde. I have seen Vengeance. I have opinions on Vengeance, which I guess I'll give now because I've never talked about this movie before to anybody, really.
Oh, no.
J. Smith Cameron, I had to look it up. Yeah, she's the mom in Vengeance. She's also on Succession. I mean, Marcus, as soon as you Google her, you'll know who she is. But Vengeance is the B.J. Novak directed and starring vehicle that's on Peacock right now that I've seen people bring up and say, oh, it's such a great movie. I don't know how to feel about Vengeance. It's a weird movie to me. It's about B.J. Novak playing a podcaster who goes to this small town, Texas town. And I have a thing against most movies set in Texas made by people who aren't from Texas, right? This one skirts that kind of... It does Texas kind of well in regards to like showing what Texas is, but then it's just a weird movie about him trying to solve a murder of like a girl he was dating, and lies to her family about it. Like they think like they were in a serious relationship, but he lies only to just get information on this murder. And then there's like this conspiracy, and then there's like a weird sort of like, I don't even want to. Somebody compared it to the Coen Brothers, and I can see that comparison, but it's like the Coen Brothers done by B.J. Novak. So that's what I'll say.
It's that movie.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anyway, it's on Peacock. Marcus, give it a shot and tell me what you think.
I do want to watch it. I saw a trailer for it in the theater, and I was like, I have no clue what this is, but it looks kind of charming.
Yeah. There's some charm to it. There's some darkness to it. It's just a weird little movie that... It's not bad, though. B.J. Novak, hey, you did a good job. You didn't make a bad movie. You just made a weird movie.
Best actor, best director, B.J. Novak. We forgot him last week.
All right. Is it so? Are we closing up the Discord?
I think the Discord is finito.
Officially closed. Some hanging chads from that last conversation. I want to bring up. I brought up Tar and the supporting actress categories. We mentioned Nina Haas. She's very good in it, playing Tar's wife. But I also want to shout out what may be my favorite supporting female performance from Tar. Playing Tar's assistant is no, I can't pronounce his name. It's fucking French. Nomi Merlant. Nomi Merlant.
Nomi Rapace.
No. Nomi Merlant, you may know from Portrait of a Lady on Fire. But she is very good in Tar, playing Tar's assistant. And it's a very layered performance, very mysterious. I won't say too much. You haven't seen Tar yet, Marcus. Go see Tar.
No, sir.
Yes. I think that was the hanging Chad that I wanted to bring up.
My final hanging Chad, I guess, is I'd like to mention somebody else who's absolutely having a moment right now is Anya Taylor-Joy, and she was quite good in The Northman this year. I also liked her, but I give the edge to Nicole Kidman for sure, but also very good.
That was the... Okay, we have to do this every episode, too, once we finish the category roundup of everybody's favorites. Now we gotta decide who's gonna win. Okay, we're gonna call our shot now. Last week we said Austin Butler, definitely gonna win lead actor, best actor, right? Who's gonna win best supporting actress, Marcus? Who are we gonna bet money on right now?
Carrie. I'm betting all my money, all chips in on Carrie Condon.
Carrie Condon. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say this. Stephanie Sue is gonna win. Okay. Now.
Wow.
We've split the vote. So you're going with Carrie. I'm going with Stephanie. Okay. Now I think I should win more money because I'm not even confident Stephanie Sue's gonna get nominated.
No. Yeah. I am definitely taking the safer bet.
You are.
Your payout is like 1,000-fold if you win this.
Yeah. So I'm gonna feel so good when she does win, and I can pull up this audio and say, "Look, I called it back in December." So that's really what I'm aiming for. Is just the credit I'm gonna get in like 4 months.
Awesome, dude. So I think we'll see you guys next week.
No, hold on. We've run out of time. There are so many other things I want to talk about. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Rapid fire. Okay, final segment. What's been happening with awards and like who's giving out awards and?
Oh yeah, we got the Boston Film Critics Circle. Like what they do?
I didn't put that one down. I put down 3. I put down.
Oh my god!
Look, hold on. Rapid fire. So who's handing out awards this week? So this is what I wrote down. The New York Film Critics Circle. They did theirs. Best film, Tar. Best director, S.S. Rajamouli in RRR. 4RRR, I should say. I'm going to name the top ones. Colin Farrell in Banshees and After Gang.
I almost want to switch to him for actor, but I don't know if I'll do it.
You're a coward now, aren't you, Marcus? Yeah. That's the thing. You can't switch like each episode. You can recall your votes and say, you know what, Austin Butler, get out of here.
Nah.
Colin Farrell. No, you gonna stick with Austin Butler?
No, I'm gonna stick with Butler for now.
Okay,
but I might change that later.
I'll just name the actresses here. I'm sorry, the actors overall. Blanchett, Best Actress. Supporting Actor, Ke Huy Quan, Everything Everywhere. Supporting Actress, Keke Palmer. Ooh, for Nope. So those are the top ones for the New York Film Critics Circle. L.A., the Los Angeles Film Critics Circle. Here we go. Let's do these. Do these quick. Best Picture, Everything Everywhere, and Tar. It's a tie between those two. Best Director, Todd Field for Tar. Lead Performance, Cate Blanchett and Bill Nighy. Bill Nighy, previously mentioned last episode for Living.
Yeah.
And Best Supporting Performers, Dolly DeLeon for Triangle of Sadness and Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere. So that's L.A. Finally, I didn't write down Boston, Marcus. Maybe we can talk about Boston another time, unless you have the list there. You can run down some of those. But
no.
I have a resounding no.
Yes. The one thing from Boston I do want to say is they had their best ensemble, and it went to it went to Women Talking and Jackass Forever, and that made me so happy.
I saw that.
That made me so happy.
That's great. National Board of Review, the good old National Board of Review. Their top film was Top Gun. Best Director.
Wow, top film, Top Gun.
Top film, Top Gun. Best Director, Spielberg for Fabelmans. Best Actor, Farrell for Banshees. Best Actress, Yao for Everything Everywhere. Best Supporting Actor, Brendan Gleeson for Banshees. Best Supporting Actress, Janelle Monáe for Glass Onion. On Knives Out Mystery. Janelle Monáe. So there it goes. That's what's happening around award circles. Those are the awards that have been handed out this past week. Finally, can I have a few minutes here at the very end, Marcus, for something? And I'll give you some minutes at the end too to say what you want. Okay? Can I talk about Babylon? Can I talk about this movie?
Let's get a little babbling on about Babylon. All right.
Let's talk some Babylon. Okay, the new movie by Damien Chazelle. Good old First Man. Good old La La Land. Good old Whiplash. He's back with a new movie about the silent era and the transition to sound in films in the 1920s. Okay? 3 hours long. Before seeing this movie this past week, I have heard many things from like it being terrible to it being an amazing film about films, and I'm falling more in the center, leaning towards positive. I think it's a very good movie. Maybe it is too long. Maybe it is very sloppy. It's messy. But I think two things for me stick out. One is Margot Robbie in the lead. Incredible. We'll talk about the lead actress performances of the year later in another episode.
Margot Robbie, huh?
Margot Robbie.
Star of Amsterdam.
By the way, I've seen Amsterdam. She is asleep through Amsterdam. Like she does. Her and like John David Washington are just on autopilot throughout that entire movie, which is apt because that movie is close to bad. But here, Margot Robbie is awake. She gives one of the performances of the year. I still am locked in with like Yao and Blanchett up there for me. Like a spoiler alert for a future episode, but Margot Robbie gives them, she's really chopping at the bit for, that Oscar this year. Margot Robbie. And then the other thing that's true is like, yes, it is a movie about movies and the magic of movies. And I think Damien Chazelle just barely makes that work by the end. But yeah, it's a messy movie, but I think it's well worth your time if you want to spend 3 hours in a movie theater during Christmas to get away from your family. So there you go. That's my review of Babylon. Marcus, are you gonna go see Babylon?
I don't know if I'm gonna see it in theaters, but I do really want to see the flick.
Yeah,
we'll see. Tough time of year because I live pretty far away from a theater and snow can always get in the way.
Damn.
But and that does derail me, and my time's already limited, and it happens to snow on a day I can't go, and then I get screwed. But if it lines up, I'm happy to see it.
Can I influence you and say that, if you're on the precipice of going or not, if you want like an extra push to make you go, what if I said Flea was in the movie?
I'm gonna go to the theater right now and camp out.
Okay, good. So there you go. You're welcome, Damien Chazelle. All right, so that's Babylon. We'll talk more about that in future weeks because I'm sure it'll pop into the categories and like get nominations. Okay. Oh, and we have no time to talk about that fucking awards thing.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
No.
So,
Marcus, the floor is yours as we wrap up.
Yeah, so you can follow me at Junkblader on Twitter, and you can listen to our other podcast. Me and Marcelo, we host a podcast about the director Richard Kelly, and more specifically his film Southland Tales, which we discuss in great depth. We will be bringing that podcast back in the new year with some brand spanking new episodes, great new guests. Happy New Year, everybody.
I will echo that and say it's a great show. Go listen to it. I believe you can find it over at talkfilmsociety.com/Southland Tales. Does that link work? It will by the time this episode comes out.
Ooh.
And as for me, go to Patreon, patreon.com/talkfilmsociety to support the website. If you liked this, if you enjoyed this episode, and you want us to make more, give us some money and listen to bonus episodes on there.
Just come on, cough up a few bones.
Come on. Okay,
every month we do commentaries, and I always think they're very fun to listen to and do.
Yeah, it's a fun time with me and Marcus.
What's our commentary this month? What are we hyping up?
We have Harold and Kumar's White Christmas. No, it's Harold and Kumar go to... Wait, what is it? I seriously forgot.
A very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas.
a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas is what we did a commentary for, and will be out soon. In December 2022. There's one other thing. Oh, of course, the Talk Film Society Awards, as I mentioned earlier. talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards for more info. Keep an eye out for that ballot. It'll be out there in a few weeks. And you can vote for the best of the year in categories like the Oscars. There you go. That's it. Marcus, what a show.
Always a pleasure.
I can't wait to talk about this shit again next week.
Every week, man. I am genuinely excited because I spend the week thinking about my favorite whatever in that category of the week, and I get really excited. I am happy to keep doing this with you. Hopefully, we can get some guests in here sometime. It doesn't always just have to be us two, but having a great time, bud.
I'm gonna look ahead to see what I wrote down for the next episode, and no, I shouldn't say because we might change our mind. But expect another episode next week where we talk about...
Expect the unexpected.
Another category. All right. Thanks, Marcus, as always. Thank you to the listener. Thank you to the listener. Thank you, the listener.
Thank you, Jesse.
To the listener. There's a Freudian slip. Thank you to the one listener out there. And hey, I see you at the movies. No, I never say that. All right, bye.